now.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Hollywood London magazine channel, and today we have with us our ever lovely Jayjay Epega, who is a publicist and a producer. Hi Jayjay.
Hello, hi, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you?
Well as can be in this crazy times we're all living in. Just taking it day by day and making the most.
I think that's what we're all trying to do, but it's very nice to see you again, and thank you for being here with us and joining us. We have a few things that we wanted to get in today's episode, one of which was the very sad news of the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, especially it's been a very difficult couple of weeks kind of digesting, and each day there's something that we see about how great and how he touched everybody's lives. Would you like to, I know you met him a couple of years ago, so would you like to tell our viewers about that?
It was only back in 2018. I attended the GK Awards with my daughter Dylan, and it was I think after the dinner, we were all going to have drinks, and as we were walking along, I looked up and my daughter said, "Mommy, that's the chap from the new movie, Black Panther." And I was like, where? I said, "Oh my gosh, it is, you know." And as we all walked past his entourage and everything, and my daughter was like, "Oh, I'd love to meet him." I said, "Oh gosh." So I thought, oh, well, I've asked the mom, I better go up and, you know, say hello and congratulate him. So I literally just went up to him and said, "I'm really sorry to pull you away from all your people. But I just want to say thank you so much for the fantastic Black Panther. We were so impressed, and we were really, you know, blown away as Africans ourselves that this film was made." And, you know, he said, "Oh, thank you so much, thank you." I said, "You guys were just wonderful." And I said, "This is my daughter Dylan, and she'd love to have a picture." And he said, "Oh, just 1 minute, I'm just doing something, but just wait here." And he said, "Actually, no, I want us to take it over there." And I thought, you know, what's wrong with him? Because I thought we just want to take a quick picture. But he made such an effort in the sense that he had people talking to him, but he said, "Just go over there and wait for me. I'm going to come over. I'm going to come on over." And we took a picture with him. You know, he came over, and I remember him kind of saying, "Do it this way and stay on the wall. And can we go on that wall? Because there's more light, and we'll show up better on that wall. And can we go over there?" And I thought he was so picky, but he wasn't picky in a nasty way. He just wanted everything just right. And I thought about it, and we chatted for a bit. You know, he asked us where we were from, and we said we were British Nigerians, and we lived in London and all that. And he was just, the amount of time he spent with us, I was really quite touched actually, because he had at least about 20 people. He had this large entourage with him.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, including someone that was around at the time, you know, in the group with his friends as well, but kind of came on with Chadwick and other people, was Diplo, the DJ.
Oh, yes.
Producer. He was there. So we had been hanging with him and, you know, and everyone. So he kind of pulled away from all those people, and we spent time with him. We spent a good 10, 15 minutes with him, and it really touched me. He gave the time, gave the effort, and took the picture with Dylan. So when I heard about his passing, it really hit me quite hard, because we had met him. We had spent that brief time with him, and he was so lovely. And we said that we go to LA all the time. He goes, "Oh yeah, you know, we should hook up." We made the joke, and he said, "Oh, we should all hook up. We should all hook up when you come to LA. We'll show you what LA is about." You know, he made a joke, and it really touched me, and it really broke my heart when he passed.
Oh.
It broke my heart. It was heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, he's on social media every day, and everybody's talking about how great a person he was, and I think if anything, there's a lesson, an example about how meticulous he was with his work, and how, you know, how professional he was. So definitely his legacy is going to continue. And thank you for that very personal, you know, a story about how you met him and how he was. I've seen the picture actually; it's really lovely. I saw it on your social media as well. So really lovely picture, and also staying with the African theme here, and in particular, kind of going on to food this time round.
Oh yeah.
We have. Something else that we wanted to discuss actually. We have Tom Parker Bowles, who you know, and you've done something on his Nigerian review of food. So we wanted to discuss that today as well.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise because my connection with Tom Parker Bowles actually goes back to 20 years ago, you know, about 20 years ago, when I worked at Polygram Films. It's now Universal Studios. Universal Entertainment, but I worked at Polygram, and at the time, Tom wasn't actually a reviewer, food reviewer. He actually worked at a film company called DDA, and DDA, a PR company for films. So he was actually a film publicist before he went into that thing. So I had a lot of dealings with him, and I think I met him, if I recall, at Cannes, the Cannes Film Festival. This is like 20 years ago, so we go back. I'm showing my age. But yes, it was quite a few years ago. I think like 18, 20 years ago, something like that. So that was how I kind of knew him from work times. So it's interesting to see what he's doing, and what he did recently, just a couple of weeks ago, and blew everyone's mind, especially Nigerians in London, was he reviewed Nigerian food. And it was our favorite foods. And it was so lovely. It actually took me home, just reading the review. It really warmed my heart, because it was things that my mother used to make for us, and I miss her so much. And that's her behind me, actually, Jayjay Epega. And it was so touching because it was jollof rice. It was something called suya, which is like a sort of roasted, I say roasted, like barbecued meat with special pepper. Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, it's like our version of kebab, you know, but it's yeah, with special pepper on it. You will love it. Oh my God, it will take you to heaven.
I love coming to your functions. I always love the food, especially the jollof rice and the plantain as well. So I'm quite used to Nigerian food because I hung out with you and your family.
Oh my goodness. And it was just the description, the way he actually visualized that succulence and the taste and the passion in our food. So that, yeah, for me, I just wanted to mention that it was really very, very, very special. And I was very touched that someone like that would go out of his fishbowl into another culture that it's not always reviewed, you know, in the Daily Mail. Was it the magazine, actually, was for the magazine. So that was really nice to see. So yeah, that's a refreshing change. It was lovely, you know, in the midst of all this madness, it's lovely to feel at home and something that takes you back to your childhood. So yeah, well done, Tom, well done.
Thank you, thank you for that. And the other thing that we have to discuss today, there's a couple of more things actually. One of which is the Harry and Meghan Netflix deal, which we said that you wanted to discuss as well. So is there anything that you'd like to add to that?
For me, I think it's very lovely for them to have this deal from Netflix and everything. But the only thing that concerns me for people generally in the business is, how do young people feel that they can achieve if they think, well, you have to marry well or come from a royal family to jump the queue? Because you have a lot of young producers, especially people of ethnic minorities, who will never get to make their story told, get a documentary. But I think what Netflix has done is they know that people will watch, I think people will watch the first one or two, but they might not stick to it out of curiosity. Well, these are not filmmakers. You know, you have people that go to university, study for years. And Harry and Meghan, as much as I like them, they've never made movies. They're not documentary filmmakers. But just by the way of, okay, Harry's a royal, and we know that if Meghan hadn't married Harry, she will not be getting a deal worth almost $100 million at Netflix. That would just not happen. So they are just betting on the public interest. You know, so it's really a business move, and I hope it works out. But I'm just really sad for people who try for years and years and years to even raise $5,000, $10,000 to make their documentary. So in a way, yeah, congratulations. But I hope Netflix opens the doors and maybe opens new schemes for young and upcoming people in film, because a lot of the time people don't get the experience to work with big companies like that, or the opportunity. So I do hope Netflix will look at that and not just give out big money to names, because at the end of the day, what's the point? What about the 100,000 of young people coming out? And, way past the racial issue of it, I think I've gone past that. It's not even so much about the racial issue now. It's more about the opportunity for up and coming people, or people not, it doesn't have to be up and coming, people who just don't have access to contacts. They need to be given opportunities as well.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And also, there's been quite a bit in the press about John Boyega.
Yes.
And something that happens. This is kind of going back onto the race issue now. Would you like to just add something to that?
Yeah, just briefly, I saw in the press how he had been an ambassador for Joe Malone, and they had a commercial which they used on this side of the world. But by the time it got to China, because the Chinese did not want to have a black person portrayed in a commercial, this commercial, which John Boyega had come up with himself and actually put together himself, was made with the same thing made, but with a Chinese young man. So can you imagine? So he felt quite hurt that, because the Chinese didn't want to see a black person in that commercial. So they thought, actually, we'll do the commercial, but we'll use a Chinese person and make exactly the same commercial, but with a Chinese person, because it's more palatable to their audience, which I thought was despicable. So
it is. It really is.
It is. It is. So he resigned. He resigned from being an ambassador for the brand, which I don't blame him for at all. At all.
No. And it is, to add insult to injury, is like, he is an ambassador, and he also came up with the concept as well. So it's like a double blow, and it's just really, really bad for them to do that.
So shame on them, and good for him. You've got to stand your ground. So basically, I just say, well done him.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And just before we finish off, I wanted to ask you, if I know you always have books coming in, and you're an avid reader. And both of us do our little book reviews, and we exchange notes as well. But what books do you have at the moment that you would like to share?
I'm going to turn it around and ask you to go first. I want to know.
Oh, really?
Yes, you go first and tell us this week what your book is.
Okay, well, my book, which I've got here, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's
Undying Love.
Undying Love.
Okay.
And it's by Esther Mobuse, and it's by Dr. David Fakrogha. And basically, it's about a book which is about love that transcends age, culture, even religion, even socially, set in Nigeria, about two individuals and who really have a love that starts off from their teenage years, and 30 years later, many things happen in their life. They're hit with many kind of obstacles in the way, but out of that, it's just quite beautiful the way that their paths end up coming together. And I have something here which I wanted to read about the book, which said, love could be viewed to mean different things by different people, approached in diverse ways. What does it mean to be in love? This is an actual question most people have no answer for, because they're yet to experience love. When we talk about love, one never knows when it will happen. You could wake up one day and voila, you are in love. And this is about desire and an undying love, and the story of two people who felt such love, untainted by lust and far from being a crush. Through separation by distance and absence of communication over the years, their love blossomed and continued to grow. And I'm not going to say too much more about it. That is the book, Undying Love, and it gets quite saucy in between as well. The pages go quite hot as well.
Who wrote the book?
Esther I think you'll be better at the Nigerian pronunciation. Is it Mobuse?
Mobuse. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, we've got it there, just so that you can have a look.
Very
so, yeah, and so that's the book that I read. And can you share your lovely books with us, please?
Yes, I mean this week, and I'm just trying to bring it up because I think it's so important that I show the cover of the book, because I've actually had to order it. The book that I'm going to recommend this week, and I was going to recommend two, but I really just feel that this book is so powerful. It's so important to just recommend the one, and I'm just going to bring it up in a second. Isn't it typical technology? When you want it to work, it doesn't want to work. But
always happens.
It always happens. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'm so happy I've got it now. Here we go. This is the book. Hang on. You can just about see it. Why it's not coming off properly, I don't know. Okay, accept. Sorry, I'm bringing up on the iPad. Here we go. Okay, I hope you can see it. Can you see it?
The Spy Who Loved.
Yeah, that's it. The Spy Who Loved by Clare Tulley, okay? Yeah. And it says, the secrets and lives of one of Britain's bravest wartime heroines. This woman, the book is about this book, The Spy Who Loved, you can just about see. It's about a lady called Krystyna Skarbek, also known as Christine Granville. She was a Polish countess. Interestingly enough, why she became so of interest to me was because you will have known, and you've met him, but you won't remember, at Baba's wedding, Sasha Skarbek. Sasha Skarbek is Baba's best friend, who was best man at his wedding, and is Dylan's uncle, godfather. You know, he's been in our lives forever, for always, you know. And this woman, Krystyna Skarbek, was a spy for the British Army, for the British government during the Second World War. And she was known as Winston Churchill's favorite spy.
Oh,
so she was even more dangerous than, she wasn't because she was actually used in a James Bond film, Casino Royale, by Ian Fleming, and he based his character Vesper Lynd on her.
Ah, yes. Right. Interesting. I was going to say that the name and the description is very in keeping with James Bond.
Yes, she was a government agent for the British. Although she was from Poland, she was Polish. She came to live in England in her youth. Sasha's family are Polish, the Skarbeks. They were counts and countesses, so she was a countess. And she came to live in the UK, and she was a spy for the UK government. And she had deadly deeds. She went undercover. She tricked the Germans. She got information for the British Army and helped them win the war, basically. And not much was known about her. And she's actually had a plaque put in her memory in London, because her story is quite tragic, because she only died at 44 years old in 1952. She was murdered. She was murdered by an obsessed lover, an obsessed and rejected lover. Yes, somebody that she didn't actually. He wasn't actually a lover. It was somebody that really liked her, but she never liked him, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. So when she was back in London in 1952, she was staying in a hotel near it's near Knightsbridge, Kensington area, and he followed her to the hotel lobby and stabbed her. She was killed. After all that bravery, she was killed by a stalker, really. Someone she knew, but she didn't want to have anything to do with. He was obsessed with her. Killed her in the hotel lobby. It's a very sad story. It makes such a riveting, such an important film and story to tell, because it was so tragic what happened to her. It's riveting. Everything that happened was so tragic and sad. So I've actually ordered the book, so I should be getting it. So in the next segment, I hope to tell you a bit more about it. but she was such a beauty, such a beauty. Very good looking, beautiful woman, and she had several lovers. So she strikes me of a kind of Pamela Harriman figure.
Yeah.
Because she had so many
like
layers. Yes, she used her beauty and sexuality to win over men, but she did it as a spy. That's why she was more like James Bond than a Bond girl.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, absolutely.
she
was like the
beauty.
Bond.
Yeah, she was Bond. She used her beauty. You know, they said she used to carry poison in her tights, and her stiletto heels could kill. So, like, she was really
definitely James Bond.
She used her beauty in her job and her sexuality. So God bless the memory of Krystyna Skarbek, known as Christine Granville, because only yesterday, the 17th, is today the 18th of September?
Today's the 17th.
Only yesterday, the 16th of September, in London, 2020, her plaque was put up in her memory outside the hotel where she was killed. She lived at that hotel for 2 years, the last 2 years of her life. And the writer, Clare Tulley, the writer, was very integral in making sure that the plaque was put up. So I only had time for one book because it was such a powerful and connected to us in that way through Sasha. She's his great aunt.
Yeah.
She's his great aunt.
That's the link there, which is even more kind of personal to you because you know him so well and you've known him for such a long time. And
I didn't know
that that's his auntie.
His auntie.
Great auntie,
yeah. And she was all over the news yesterday and everything. So I'll put notes up on and the link on our clip on YouTube for you to share with the others, because I think it's so important that women like this, because usually we hear about James Bond, the men, the bravery of the men, and we don't hear enough about the women that went through so much to achieve so much bravery during the time of war. So I know I went on quite a bit, but her story deserves to be told. It's amazing.
No, thank you for that. Thank you so much. And even through some of the links that we shared, I did have a look at something. One thing that really spoke out to me was something that the chap that murdered her said, the stalker. He said the ultimate possession is to kill or murder the person, you know, that in his mind it was love or some sort of obsession. But that really spoke out to me about how dangerous it can be, you know, like she's trying to conquer like countries here. She's trying to, you know, be a spy, and really under her own nose there was somebody. So it's really tragic. It really is. And thank you so much. I mean, I was really, it really spoke out to me in so many ways as to what an interesting life she led. So it was really something. So please do send the link for other people to have a look. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. And, you know, do stay safe. And like I say, every day is a gift. And treasure the love and treasure the memory.
Yeah, and we're making memories each day, and we are also finding happiness in the smallest of things now, aren't we? We really are. And
every day, and you know, and again, I have to thank the NHS, you know, in England, who have done so much for us. We're very lucky, and thank them every day.
Big shout out to them. Thank you so much, Jayjay. Have a lovely day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.